Good morning, fourth and fifth graders. Happy Tuesday. We are back here to learn our science, and we have an experiment for today. So we're going to have actually two sets of YouTube lessons, one for our guided notes and then one for our experiment. And then I may actually do the experiment notes as a second one if we run out of time. All right, so here we go. We're going to look at our essential question for today. So yesterday we were learning about how the sun interacts with the earth and the moon to form our cycles, different cycles with the earth. We're going to keep working on that with seasons. This is backtracking a little bit to what we were working on yesterday. So we're on April 7th. Now, if you haven't already finished your comprehension questions, that might be something you might start with today. All right, so we're going to watch a Brain Pop video. And when you click into Brain Pop, you're going to type in seasons, and it'll come right up. And then on the right-hand side, there's a quiz. Now, there's all kinds of other games and primary sources and other things you can look at. So don't just watch the video. Once you're in there, feel free to go ahead and do some other things that you'd like to do and have fun in there. So I'm going to mark that off. We're going to do our guided notes. That's what this lesson is right now. And then we're going to do our experiment. And then if you don't have access to your technology or you want a little bit of an extra challenge, you're going to read Our Place in Space. So here we are. We're right here. I'm going to go ahead and mark off. We watched our Brain Pop on the seasons. What causes the seasons? And I tell you, I know we mentioned this in class right before you guys left for your break. This is a question that more people miss, adults. They asked freshmen at Harvard, which is one of the most prestigious or just fancy schools you can go to. Really, really smart boys and girls go there. And they asked all these freshmen, and the majority of them got this wrong. You know what they said? They said that the Earth gets hotter when it's closer to the sun, because they knew that the orbit was in what type of a pattern, what type of a shape? Yeah, an ellipse. Well, they were wrong. And so you guys all know this should just come straight out of your head. What causes the seasons? The Earth's tilt. And I'll even give you the amount, those of you that really like mathematical thinking, the Earth's axis is tilted at 23.5, and the symbol in math for degree is that little circle. All right, so we worked on this diagram when you guys were with me last time. I don't have colors. I forgot my crayons at home, but I'm going to go ahead and just mark it that if you have crayons, use them. All right, so draw an axis for each image of the Earth. It doesn't matter where the Earth is on its axis, on its orbit, it all tilts the same direction. All right, labels, we did this one. Label the different seasons as we experience them in North America. Now, when they ask you this, they're either going to give you the month or they're going to give you the season, but you have to be able to know which month goes with which season. And this is for us, so this is if we were in North America. So if we were in December, what season would it be? And remember, when I ask a question, you're going to answer it either out loud or in your head, because that's what good learners do. You participate. Yep, winter. And what season would June be? Summer. And what season would March be? Yep, spring. And what season would September be? Autumn or fall? All right, so if you look at this one, the sun is pointed directly to this side of the Earth. So this side of the Earth would be hot. But here's the U.S. right here. And on this one, the Earth is pointing towards the sun on this side. And in the summer, that means the U.S. is right there. All right, if you have a blue, go ahead and color this part blue and this part blue. So while we're experiencing winter, everyone else experiences summer. And when we have summer, everyone else is experiencing winter. All right, color half of the earth red and half of it blue, and then color these yellow. I don't have a yellow, I'm sorry. I thought of so many different things I needed, but I forgot my crayons. All right, now if you notice, when we have summer, we're actually further from the sun than we are here. But only half of our earth is, or half of where we are in North America is really getting the full sunlight. On this one, we're pointed right at the sun. All day it's beating down on us. Boom, boom, boom. And all day it's beating down on the southern hemisphere. All right. Color the temperatures. We did that. Now we're going to show the height of the sun. So this is the other part of the standard you need to know. So the Earth's tilt causes the seasons. It doesn't have anything to do with how far away we are. And the other one is the height. And so in the summer, how would the sun appear in the sky? It's really, really high. And again, if you want to color these red or yellow, feel free. And in the winter, the sun never gets really, really high up in the sky. It appears a little bit lower because we're down here in winter. We don't get the sun up beating down on us all the time. Well, if you know the sun is really, really high in the sky in summer and it's really low in the sky in winter, how do you think the height, or how tall, how do you think it is in spring and fall? You probably guessed it. It's somewhere in the middle. And this is going to be really important in our shadows, which is our experiment for today. So in the summer, the sun is bright and overhead and beating down on us. In the winter, it stays lower in the sky. And in the spring and autumn, it is somewhere in the middle. All right, so here are your reflection questions. We know that we always stop and we put things, we use pictures, we watch videos, but we have to put it in words. Because when we do that, remember, we're making our learning bridge stronger and stronger by practicing it in different ways, and that gets it stuck in our head. So you have several questions here. What causes day and night? So think about your diagram. Another question you can answer, or you can answer both of them. What causes the Earth to experience a year? Think about this diagram. Including your seasons. Make sure you use at least 3 quality sentences and you use vocabulary. And you have a list of all your great vocabulary words on the other side. Now, if you run out of room, feel free to attach additional paper, or you can also type these if you'd rather type in a Google document and share it with me or print it at the end. That would be fine as well. All right, so at this point, and you would pause your tape here and you can answer your questions, and then you can come back to our learning. All right, how do shadows change with the seasons? How do shadows change with the seasons? We're going to perform the following experiment, and you're going to do it at home. I'm also going to do it on our YouTube video lesson, but I'd rather you try the experiment out first on your own. But if you don't have the materials to do it, you can just do it with me. You're going to need something that's kind of short that you can't see through. So it needs to be opaque. We don't want it to be translucent or transparent. Those great vocab words from the last few weeks. You need some sort of a light source. I just have a little flashlight like we used in class. If you have a lamp, you could also use a lamp, so that would work well. And then you need some sort of piece of blank paper. I'm just going to use a piece of paper that I have. All right, so the first thing you're going to do, I'm going to set up the lab, and then on our next lesson, we're going to come back and I'm going to perform the lab, and we're going to answer our questions and do our diagrams. So here we go. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to place your flashlight close to the, oh, I wrote shadow. It needs to be object. Ms. Dunnigan has a typo. It happens a lot. You're going to put the flashlight far away from the object, close to the object, move it, and see how it changes. And the next one you're going to do is you're going to put your object in the middle of your piece of paper, and you're going to change the height of the flashlight. So you're going to do it from the side and raise the flashlight until the flashlight is right above. And you're going to observe the effect on the shadows. All right, I'm going to stop you here so that you can perform your experiment. And then when you're ready, you can watch my YouTube video.